to my YouTube channel. It's Boxing Day 2025, and though it's cold outside, the sun is shining, and so I thought, what a great day to do my first gardening video. So join with me as I take you around my West Midlands garden here in the UK. So as we enter the garden, we met with a beautiful fern and a sweet box. So my garden's a southeast facing garden, which means I have some areas that are in full sun and partial sun, some areas that only get morning sun or evening sun, some that are in full shade. So with a lot of trial and improvement, I'm trying to find which plants will go in the right spot, with the aim that all parts of my garden will look nice all throughout the year. So my garden's not a fancy one. I've got the old patio still. There's a lot of recycled items in here. So here is my full sun side. So this side of the garden is in sun all through the day. So this is where most of the colour would be. In this little section I have a rose, and then most of my herbaceous plants would be here. They've all died down now, so you don't really see much, but from spring all the way through summer and autumn, this is where most of the flowers will be. I have this coicia here which has such a beautiful scent, so I've made space so I can get close to it. And I also have this rosemary which I use in cooking and to make rosemary tea. It's very vigorous, so often needs a good trim. So there are mini paths everywhere. I like to get up close to the plants, especially if they've got a lovely scent. I like to smell them, or they've got nice texture that I like to touch. So I like to get up close. So here's another little path. This ceanothus, which is not my favourite plant, but the bees love it, so I just keep it for them, really. It does have some nice flowers. And then the little pond that I've got needs tidying up, especially the grass needs pulling out, and I need to clear out the fallen leaves that are falling in there. As you can see, I haven't cut much back. After all the plants have died down, I'll just do that in spring when things start sprouting. I forget where everything is, so it's best that I just leave everything as it is, so I know what's there. And then once it starts growing again, I can start cutting down all the dead bits. This is my favourite spot to sit in the afternoon. As you can see, the sun's hitting it lovely here. It's where I like to take my afternoon nap. In all seasons, it was just last week that I was out here having a little sleep. It was cold, but I was wrapped up and the sun was shining directly on my face, and it was just beautiful. It's a very relaxing area, especially when all the plants have come up and it's just a sea of green. And then my favourite shrub, this forsythia, it's just beautiful all through the year. It's going to have bright yellow flowers in the spring, then it will green up, a beautiful green, and then in the autumn just turns into beautiful autumnal colours. It is the best shrub in my garden. Love it to bits. I have this cherry tree, one of those patio ones you buy from Lidl, but I decided to put it in the ground. I like trees not to be too tall, especially my fruit trees, so that I can pick the fruit easily. So this section will be changing next year, so this is next year's project. I like the plants, but I just don't like the way that it's set up. So I'm going to put it all up and start again. I'm going to make sure there's a bit more height, so I feel a bit more secluded, and there's more seating space so other people can sit with me. So it's a lot of work, but it won't cost anything, so it's worth a try. And if it doesn't work, just change it again. So you can see I've got a fallen fence here. This is caused by the root of this sycamore tree, which is a beautiful tree, but it just means that there's roots all along my garden, making things hard to dig up. And the roots have actually destroyed this fence. You can see even the post is bent, but so I need to think about how to fix that. And this is my mixed hedge. So hopefully in the future this will cover up this back fence. My favourite thing is to walk through the woods, so my garden does have a woodland feel. So you saw that beautiful geranium. That seems to be happy there. I will prune my laurel, give some space for my privet there. My laurel was actually a cutting from my parents' house, so I'm really happy with that. I've got lots of plants that were cuttings from other people's gardens. So again, I've got some woodland planting that will come up in the spring. My fatsia, and a euonymus, another privet, and then here I've got mostly geums. I'll see how they do. I've recently moved them there. Gonna see if they do a bit better over here. There's and I've got this little hellebore. I don't really remember buying this hellebore, but I must have, because all my other hellebores are white. I've got the Christmas roses, the white Christmas roses, so I can't even remember what this is. I don't remember buying it, but there we are. It's lovely. One of my hebes. I've got lots of hebes in the garden. I like the colours and the textures of hebes. Here's another one. So hebes, heucheras, ferns. I've got lots of different varieties of those in this garden. And this is one of my new roses that I got for my birthday. I'm really grateful for that. Still flowering. I've actually got some roses in my front garden that are still flowering, so that's nice. And then I've got my shady side. So this first part gets a bit of sun in the morning, but closer towards the house it gets no sun. So I've got this magnolia, this cornus. Neither of those are doing well, so I'm going to move those. This euonymus, that is a nice easy plant to grow. I had to cut it down because I actually transplanted it from somewhere else, so I cut it down half the size, so looking forward to that growing bigger. And now I've got my elderberry, Sambucus nigra. There's buds appearing on that, so that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the spring. Lots of ferns in this garden. I've got this viburnum. That should grow quite big. So a lot of my plants I'm going to have to wait a good 10 years till they'll get full size, but it teaches you patience. Got something back there that looks like a dead animal. That's just the decaying leaves of a hosta. Again, another hellebore. But this one, the flowers are faded now, but they still look beautiful when they're faded. Got this ajuga running through the border. Probably not a good idea to have a purple version in here. You can't really see it, but there we go. It does have flowers. And then this Guelder Rose. Good old spotted laurel. And then this is my green and white border, so everything in here is green and white. Got some hydrangeas, this Amelanchier Lamarcki. I've got that Fatsia spider's web in the back. I've got some white fox gloves that should come up. A few more hellebores, ferns. I've actually got an Acer orange stream around the back that you can't really see at the moment. And then another one of my favourite shrubs. I just love laurels. This one has some lovely white flowers that smell lovely and sweet. But I just love the dark green foliage of this plant. So we're coming into the really shady area now. So a lot of this section will have hardly any sun. But the plants seem to be happy here. I've got this lovely hellebore that is lovely and protected, so it's still flowering. You can see some fresh flowers and some old flowers there. This area is usually quite chilly, even in the summer, so it's a nice place to just come and cool down if you need to. I've actually got this clematis. I'm not sure if it's dead or alive. We will see in the spring whether it is alive. We will see. And that's basically what my garden looks like. Standard garden. Nothing special really, but gives me a lot of enjoyment. I've got a box here. It's nice and healthy. I know there's box blight all around the country, but this one is healthy. I would have planted it in the garden, but I've had some in the garden before and they died. So I just feel like I need to keep it in this place. It seems to be happy where it is, so I'll keep it sheltered and protected. Here's a bowl that I've just left out for the birds. I accidentally left this bowl out, and then I wasn't in the garden for ages, and then I found it in the garden, and then I just thought, it doesn't matter how much I clean it, I'm always going to think it's dirty, so I just thought I'll just leave it. So that will become a water bowl for the birds eventually, because I actually have one here, but it's fallen, so I need to sort that out. So here are 3 new shrubs ready for next winter, for winter interest. Skimmia, Fragrant, Cloud, Rubella and Rumbo. So looking forward to planting up those. And then here along this wall I usually do all my propagation, so seedlings, bulbs, cuttings. I just stick them in pots, see what happens. No harm if nothing takes. But yeah, things seem to be taken, so a lot of these will go into other people's gardens and some into my own garden. I've got some other shrubs and things that I bought that need to go in, and that's basically it. Looking forward to see what happens in spring, but for now I've got to get through winter, so I'll just make the most of the opportunities to get outside, especially when it's dry and sunny like today. Just wrap up and enjoy the outdoors. So I'm just gonna relax now and take in the views. Wishing everybody a happy new year for when it comes.